Hello. In this tutorial, I will show you how to play a simulation on the web. First, start by looking. To look around, we use the mouse. For movement, we use the keys on the keyboard. To go forward, we use W. To go backward, we use S. To move right, press D. To go left, press A. Now we can move and look. There are some other actions in the game, which I refer to as the main actions. These include grabbing, placing, inspecting, connecting cables, and disconnecting cables. Let's begin with grabbing items. To grab an item, look at it with your cursor, which is in the middle of the screen and appears as a purple circle. To grab the item, look at it and press the E key. You can also place these items on the field. When you look at the right position for the item, you will see a green placeholder. Press E again to place the item. To retrieve it, use E again, and to cancel placement, press Q. Pressing Q sends the items back to their original positions. You can also grab other items, such as the compressor, but you may need to open doors first. To open a door, simply click on it. It's an interaction in the game. Use the left mouse button to interact with objects. After opening the door, you can grab the compressor by pressing E. When you look at the ground, you'll see a green placeholder for the compressor. Press E to place the compressor. You can also place the generator in the same way, since it's a grabbable object. However, you can't place it too close to the compressor. It should be green before placement. You can place it by pressing E. Additionally, you can grab the tent, which is equipable. You can't grab items that are not equipable. When you see the green placeholder for the tent, press E to place it. If you want to retrieve the compressor again, press E. And to cancel, press Q. Now, let's continue with other actions in the game. I mentioned earlier that we have interactions in the game. For instance, you can open and close cases with the left mouse button. And for items like lubricant, there are animations available. You can also open other covers in the game, close them, or retrieve one end of the cables. There are two kinds of cables in the game: two-ended and one-ended cables. As you can see, the one-ended cable has only one end, while the other end is already connected to a device. This cable is also one-ended, because the other end is connected to a device by default. To pick up one-ended cables, we use the left mouse button. If I press Q, I can cancel the action, and it returns to its original position. To pick it up, use the left mouse button while looking at it with my cursor, which is the purple one. I have to connect this cable to this generator. To connect cables, we need to use Inspect mode, because we can only connect cables in Inspect mode. To enter Inspect mode, press P. Now I'm in Inspect mode and can examine the generator in detail. If I click on the right socket to connect, as you can see, it's now connected. We can also change the angle in Inspect mode. Some items have different angles in Inspect mode, but others only have one Inspect mode. If I press R, I can change my angle. To exit Inspect mode, use Q. Let's try to connect two-ended cables, like this compressor cable. To pick it up, I don't press the left mouse button. I use E because it's two-ended, as you can see. If I press Q, I cancel the action. If I press E again, I grab it. Now I have to connect this compressor cable to the blowing machine, and the other end to the compressor. Let's start with the blowing machine. To connect cables, as you may recall, we need to enter inspect mode with P. The socket is on the right, so I have to view it from this angle to connect the cable. I can change my angle with R. Now I can connect it. It's connected, so I can exit with Q. We've connected one end of this cable to the blowing machine, and the other end is in our hand. Now I have to connect this end to the compressor. To connect the cable, I need to enter inspect mode again with P. Then I click on this socket, and it's connected, as you can see. We can also move an object when it's already connected with E. I grab it, and if I place it, you will see that the cable connection is not broken. Let's continue with inspecting other items. I need to inspect this log device, so I use P. I can change the angle with R. Also, I can interact with this tablet in the game using our mouse, as you can see. I can click and interact. To go back, I use Q. Now let's start by turning on this generator. To turn on or off devices, we use P to inspect, change the angle if necessary, and then interact. It's interaction. To interact with objects, we use the left mouse button, as you may recall. To turn on this generator, we use the left mouse button in the correct place. It's open now, as you can see. It's turned on. I will turn it off because it makes too much noise. Enter inspect mode with P, and use R to change the angle, then click to interact. Also, we can turn on this compressor in inspect mode by changing the angle and simply clicking here. But it won't start because we haven't connected the power cable yet. Let's pick up this cable with the left mouse button, not with E because it's a one-ended cable, as you can see. The other end is already connected. Pick it up and enter inspect mode with P. Then connect it. After that, we have to turn on this generator. Get back to inspect mode with P, and change the angle with R, then click. Now both devices are working, as you can hear. Both of them are working. I will turn them off. Use P to inspect, R to change the angle, and then click to turn them off. The same applies to this generator. Change the angle with R and click to turn it off because it makes too much noise. We can open this cover with the left mouse button. It's an interaction. We can inspect it, but as you can see, we have only one inspection angle for this object. If we press R, nothing will change because there's only one angle for this object. Go back with Q and come back here again. Also, we can grab this green tube and place it on this blowing machine. But to interact with objects, we need to enter inspect mode, as you may remember. If I click here, it's connected to the green tube. I changed the angle. First, I have to connect this wire to this blowing machine. To do that, first, I get this wire. The wire also has one end, so it's a one-ended cable, I can say. To pick up one end of the cable, as you may recall, we just click, and I have it. The wire is now in our hand. We enter inspect mode. We can't connect here. Normally we should connect it to this place. But we can't because the circles are closed. I have to open the circles to do that. I need to change my angle and then click on this button. As you can see, it's now open, and I can place it. It's connected. I change my angle again to close it. I forgot to close this cover also with interaction. It's an interaction, and we use the left mouse button. It's connected. I go back with Q. Q is for canceling all of these actions. Also, I want to check my notepad. We've completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missions already. We've completed them. Now, let's continue by connecting this cable to the log device. To obtain it, we use the left mouse button. It's a one-handed cable. I've got it. I enter inspect mode, change my angle. It should be here, right? We connect it. And we also need to connect this power cable to the log device. To get it, we use E to equip and P to inspect, R to change the angle, and click to connect. We should have the other side of this cable. Yes, we have it. We need to connect this power at the plug edge, like so. To connect, as you may remember, we have to enter inspect mode with P. And with a mouse click, we just plug it in. Now what we have to do is to type these values into this tablet or log device. I call it a tablet for clarity. To read them better, you can enter inspect mode. This clipboard also has an inspect mode with P, so you can see all the tags we have to type into the log device. I will skip this for now. But you can continue on the tablet. It should be a micro cable. Yes, you can type with your keyboard, and you can continue. But I will skip it for now. Let's cancel. Also, I have to look at this clipboard. It says the fiber optic cable to be connected is the pink one. I need to connect this fiber optic cable to the pink one in the distribution box. I pick up this cable with E and go to the distribution box. I inspect with P. And if I click, I connect this cable. As you can see, I need to connect the other side of this cable. I use just a click because we simply click to connect. We need to connect this fiber optic cable to this tube and the other side to this distribution box. It's also connected, so we can start the process. But all the objects, all the devices are turned off. So I have to turn them on first. Start the generator, because otherwise, the compressor won't start. Inspect, change angle, and turn it on again. Now we are in the most important chapter in the game. All the cables are connected. And all the devices are connected with each other. The devices are turned on. So it's the final part of the game, I can say. After this part, there is another part for dismantling. Let's start the process on the log device, on this button. To interact with this button, we use P to inspect, change angle, and then left mouse button to interact. The wheel is turning, rotating. The system is working, and we get some kind of message. 50 meters reached, turn the air on. To turn on the air, inspect this blowing machine, change the angle, and use this button to activate the airflow. Now we're waiting for the cable to reach inside the house.
Okay.
Let's interact with the phone.
Hi, the cable has arrived.
You can cut the airflow now. The cable has arrived, and we have to cut off the airflow. It's cut off. And we can turn off the process. It's stopped. And we can dismantle the process. Just stop the process now. Now it's time to disconnect all the cables and other components to clear the field. We are changing the angle using R. And to go back, we cancel with Q. I'm just repeating. It's back at the cable, and use Q to cancel. We have to disconnect these cables as well with Q and another cable with Q. We need to put these machines back in the car using Q. We can also retrieve the tent again. Put it on the WAN with Q, use E to grab, and Q to cancel, or put it back into the WAN again. We close the doors and the cover of the distribution box. We close the case. But wait, we forgot something. Some cables here. Q to cancel. We have another cable there. Get it and Q to end it. Yes. We have to disconnect the other end of this cable. Yeah, now we can cancel. Get in inspect mode, open the green tube and cancel. We have to get this wire. To get this wire, we have to open the circles here. We have it, and cancel. Now it looks clear. And oh, I forgot this rubber. I picked it up with E, and used Q to cancel. It looks clear now. I close the door. And if I go to this door handle and click, I can finish the simulation by clicking the left button. That's all.